Hi, I'm Chris Kalenda, retired U.S. Army Colonel and founder of the Saber Six Foundation. And our mission at the Saber Six Foundation is to help veterans turn post-combat stress into growth. So here's what happens with a lot of veterans, me included. You go through a military career, maybe it's one enlistment, maybe it's 20 plus years in the military, or somewhere in between, and you've been in combat. And in combat, you have this tremendous sense of purpose. I'm defending my country against the people who attacked us on September 11th. I'm defending my country against our enemies and adversaries. You have this intense sense of belonging that the person to my left and the person to my right, they get me, they've got my back, and I've got theirs. And then you get this feeling that you've got 350 million Americans wanting you to be successful. And you kind of take all that for granted, especially if this is like your first professional experience. This is all you know. And then you get out and you hit that transition point. And as you enter the real world, so to speak, then it's like everything's different. Like the purpose just isn't the same anymore. It isn't that same purpose. I will gut through anything because I believe so strongly in it. Your typical business or your typical nonprofit or your typical job just simply isn't going to have that same sense of purpose. And nobody gives you the tools to figure out how to create it for yourself. And then you're out in your neighborhood and you have this feeling that, man, nobody out here gets me. Nobody out here has got me. I don't know how to explain my experiences to people who haven't done them too, and they have no idea how to ask me questions. And so they say thank you for your service and run away. And I don't feel like anybody out here gets me, and nobody knows how to help me. And it can be very easy at that point, very natural, to feel like you're in a sense adrift. And you can only drift in one direction, and that's downhill. And at some point, if you drift, you cross a certain point of no return. That can lead to depression, which becomes the gateway into things like self-harm, substance abuse, and death by suicide. Since September 11th, we've lost a little over 7,000 service members killed in the wars post 9/11. In that same period of time, we've lost 6,000 veterans per year. So by now, it's roughly 130,000 veterans have died by suicide, and that doesn't even count the deaths of despair. You could fill the entire University of Michigan football stadium with the number of veterans who've died by suicide since 9/11 and still have people at every gate lined up for blocks waiting to get in. Now, I can't know that's happening to people I served with and not try to do something about it. So we asked ourselves, what's the opposite of drift? And the opposite of drift is growth. And growth happens through those same things that made military service so incredible: purpose, belonging, and well-being. And you've got to have all three to be connected. Purpose, you've got a sense that in my professional and my personal life, I've got goals I want to achieve. I got something worth living for. I'm going to look at life through the windshield and not through the rearview mirror. Belonging, I feel like I'm making the journey with people that matter to me, that are encouraging me on, that are cheering me on, that are helping me get better every day. And then well-being, where I feel like I've got the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual stamina to go the distance. And you've got to have all three. If you're missing purpose, then you just feel like you are adrift. If you're missing belonging, then you feel isolated and alone. And if you're missing well-being, then you believe that you can't make it, you can't go the distance. But when you put those three things together, there's real magic, and that's exactly what leads to growth. And all of our programs at the Saber Six Foundation are designed to help strengthen purpose, belonging, and well-being, to put people on that growth trajectory so that they are constantly living an ever better life. So if that mission sounds important to you, then feel free to sign up for our mailing list, learn a bit more about the Saber Six Foundation. We've even got programs that any person, military, civilian, veteran or not alike, can participate in that help you achieve an ever better life. I'm both the founder of the Saber Six Foundation and a beneficiary. I have faced these struggles, and I am also on this path of purpose, belonging, and well-being to continue growing.